The first thing is we create a culture where people can develop themselves, build up their self-awareness, understand where their strengths are, and leverage those to go further. The idea is that we will accompany like the flip dishers in honing better skills and constantly developing themselves, and most importantly, build on the inner strength and capabilities to go further. Very regularly, we meet up as a team, either for a larger brainstorm or reflection about our go-to-market strategy, but also for team fun. At least once a month, we all gather up for like a nice dinner or a nice group activity. We go to trade shows together, and this is the opportunity for us also to take a bit of a step back from our day-to-day work and reflect back on really who we are and where does each other's strength lie most and how can we learn from each other. The idea is that we have such a diverse team that everyone has something to bring to the rest, and the earlier everyone is aware of this, the better and the more helpful it can be for the rest of the team.
Flexibility is the big one for me. We are a remote first company, which means you have no obligation to go into an office every day, but you do have an office environment that you can go to if that's your preferred way to work. We have a number of office locations around the world, including Dublin, London, and New York. When I was job hunting 3 years ago, I negotiated with my current bosses at Flipdish to work adjusted hours. And this was pivotal for me in being able to make the decision to return to work because it meant that I could balance my needs as a parent as well as working full time. And so our move to remote first since COVID has been an absolute game changer for me. I shudder when I think about the racing around on commutes in and out of the city prior to this being the case, and the stress and anxiety that this caused. I don't have spare time as a parent, and spare time doesn't exist in my world. So I'm very, very efficient with my time. And our remote first working policy is invaluable to me.
I think one of the biggest policies and attractions of working in Flipdish is the remote first approach. I think that gives a lot more flexibility to people who have family needs or people who are international and have families overseas. And that's definitely my case. That was a big reason of why I chose to work at Flipdish, is because, I want to be able to visit my family back home for a few months a year. And I think that this flexibility just generally allows us to, recruit a more diverse workforce.
So, one of our main stated company objectives is to be the best place in the world to work. And the only way for us to do this is to build the most inclusive and supportive working environment possible. And we have done a huge, huge amount of things in this space, and we're continuing to raise the bar even on ourselves. So first, we've got a diversity and inclusion committee, which has sort of been built from the grassroots, which is sort of nice, and they're working to advocate for initiatives that are important to them. We just celebrated Pride Month last month, which included a guest talk by one of England's most famous transgender advocates. With upcoming months focused on women in tech and celebrating ethnic and religious diversity. We're big on flexibility and treating all of our employees like adults. We have some people that work flexible hours, others that work flexible weeks. We have part-timers, full-timers, and everything in between. I have 3 kids. I drop them at school every single day and I put them to bed almost every single night. I don't ask for permission to do this. I just block out my calendar and there are no questions asked. We have mentoring programs. We have leadership training initiatives. We've got a new career framework that's about to launch. And on top of this, we've got Summer Fridays where every person in the office has every other Friday in July and August off of work. In September, we're launching Wellness Wednesdays, where every Wednesday we'll be hosting mindfulness workshops and classes and guest speakers on topics ranging from eating healthy to sustaining high performance to strategies for developing financial flexibility. And all of these initiatives are feeding into us trying to be the best place in the world to work. We know it's a tall ambition, but it's one we're actively trying to get to.